Have you ever wondered whether a luxury condo or co-op is the right choice for you? If so, you're in the right place. I'm Erin Wheelock, a part of your global real estate team of choice, the Wheelock team at Keller Williams. And in today's video, we're deep diving into the world of New York City's real estate, specifically focusing on luxury condos and co-ops. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of which option might be the best fit for you. And as always, I've got a bonus tip at the end, so stick around for that. But for now, let's get started. And remember, reach out to us if you have any questions. We are here to help you with all of your New York City real estate needs. When it comes to buying a place in New York City, especially at the luxury level, the decision often boils down to whether to go for a condo or co-op. These two options might seem similar on the surface, but they have some key differences that can make all the difference, depending upon what you're looking for. Now, let's start with ownership and understand exactly what you're buying. When you buy a condo, you're purchasing real property. You get a deed and a tax lot, just like you would with a house. This straightforward ownership structure gives you more freedom. You can live in it, rent it out, or even sell it with fewer restrictions. But with a co-op, things work a little bit differently. You're not buying the unit itself. Instead, you're purchasing shares in a corporation that owns the building. So think of it this way. The building was turned into a corporation in order to start sales. And what they did is each individual unit was allocated a certain amount of shares. So you're buying shares in a corporation. And then in return, you get a lease, you get a stock in the corporation and a lease for that unit. I know a lot of times people get scared about this because you don't quote unquote own real property. However, you do own that unit. It is yours. You own it. So that lease gives you the right to occupy that specific unit. It's kind of like being a shareholder in a company. If you value having a more traditional sense of ownership, condos might be the way to go. The next thing to consider while choosing between a condo and a co-op is the availability and market presence. Here's something that might surprise you. Co-ops still make up about 65% of New York City's available inventory, leaving condos with just 35%. So if your heart is set on a condo, be prepared for fewer options, especially in certain neighborhoods. But why is this important? Well, if you're in the market for something specific, like a modern building with all of the amenities, condos often deliver. But with more co-ops available, you might find a hidden gem in a classic building with a unique charm. It's all about knowing what's out there and what you're willing to compromise on. Now let's talk about numbers and understand the price and cost consideration. What's the financial impact on both options? Generally, condos come with a higher price tag, about 15% more than co-ops, and that's a pretty significant difference. But it doesn't stop there. Condos also bring higher closing costs, thanks to things like title insurance, mortgage recording tax, which add up to about 2% of the mortgage amount. Co-ops, on the other hand, might save you some cash up front. Without the need for mortgage recording taxes, your closing costs are lower. However, co-ops often require a higher down payment. It usually starts at about 20%, and honestly, some co-ops don't even allow you to finance. That could be a deal breaker for some buyers. Then there are the monthly fees. Co-op owners pay a single maintenance fee that covers all building expenses, including your property taxes, which is why you'll get a certain percentage every year that's tax deductible. That would be the taxes you're paying and the interest towards the loan on the building if the building still has a mortgage. Condo owners, however, pay two separate fees. One is for your common charges and the other is for property taxes. And I have to tell you, if you are looking on Zillow or something that is not a New York City based and search engine, you might not see the difference between the two. You might see one that just has higher fees. One of them doesn't show two fees. So you should really be in touch with us at the Wheelock team. We can get you set up on the right search spot so that you can see all of the fees included in those monthly costs. And don't forget about flip taxes. Those are common in co-ops. And it can be a surprise cost when you're selling the units. You should always have an idea of what that flip cost is, even if the seller's paying it, but for your resale. Flexibility and use are the next thing to consider on the list. How much freedom do you have? If flexibility is high on your priority list, condos usually have the upper hand. They allow much more freedom when it comes to renting out your unit, making them a popular choice for investors. Co-ops, however, often have stricter rental restrictions, which can limit your options if you're looking to lease out your place. But I do want to be clear, condos and co-ops both have rules and restrictions around renting out. They're going to have restrictions around how long you can rent out. Usually condos also require a year minimum. So it's not that different, but the amount of time that you can rent them out is going to be different because co-ops usually only allow renting out after 2 years, maybe 3 out of every 5. Some are more flexible. Reach out to us if you want to know what buildings those are. Co-op boards also tend to be more particular about who they allow into the building. They generally prefer primary residents over investors or those looking for a second home. Not always a second home, some are very friendly to that, but in general, just think of co-ops as wanting more of a sense of community. If you're someone who values the ability to rent or sell without too many restrictions, a condo might be a better choice. Here's where things get interesting with the purchasing process. How smooth is the path to ownership? The process of buying a co-op can be more challenging than the purchase of a condo. Co-ops require a thorough application process, including an interview with the co-op board. This interview can be a deal breaker as the board has a right to reject applications based on various factors, and they're never going to tell you what that various factor is. They could just make it up. It's a problem with co-ops. Also, knock on wood, we haven't ever had a co-op board turned down. So I just want to be clear about that. It's not the end of the world, but they do want to know who's moving into those buildings. Again, they're looking for homeowners. And I actually have to say, we've had people that have gone through that co-op process, and some say the interview was a lot of question, and to some, the interview was them telling the new prospective buyer all of the great things that they've done to their building. So condos also have an application, but the process is generally less rigorous because there's no board interview. I do want to be super clear though, condo or co-op, you are still doing a board package. Most of them are still going to require reference letters and things like that. So it's not that much less that you're putting together. It's really just that interview that you're not going to have in a condo. You're going to get the first right of refusal, not co-op board approval. So a co-op purchase can stretch to be about 3 months. Condo, you're looking at about 2 weeks less. And it can also vary if you're financing. I would tack on an extra 30 days because that's approximately how long it's taking for us to get commitment letters right now. So if you're looking for a quicker and less stressful process, condos might be the way to go. Amenities and modern developments. Well, let's talk about the amenities in co-ops. Listen, co-ops don't necessarily have older amenities. Now, they may not offer it because it's not important to the building, but a lot of co-ops, especially ones that were built back in the 50s and 60s, they've updated their amenities, and a lot of them are updating it to be newer things that people are wanting, especially post-COVID. Now, newer condos tend to come with more amenities off the bat, not always if they want to keep the common charges low, but if you think gyms, pools, rooftop spaces, these are more likely to be found in luxury condos, making them particularly appealing if you're after a more upscale living experience. Now, all of that said, co-ops often, as I said, have been updated to include essential amenities, and while they often come with unique character that you won't find in newer buildings. Now, it's all about what you value more, modern convenience or the historic charm and closet space. When you're deciding between a condo or a co-op, your bonus tip is to focus on your lifestyle needs. As promised, when you're deciding between a condo or a co-op, consider your lifestyle needs and long-term plans. If you're looking for flexibility, whether renting or reselling, a condo might be a better option. But if you're looking at value, stability, community, and possibility a lower upfront cost, a co-op can be a great fit for you. Remember, New York City's real estate market is unbelievably unique, and what works for one buyer might not work best for another. So if you found this video helpful and want to see more content like this, click on the boxes on the screen. Once again, I'm Erin Wheelock, a real estate professional in New York City, and if we at the Wheelock team can assist you with your real estate needs, my contact information is in the description box below. And to keep receiving real estate updates for New York City, make sure to subscribe and follow me here and on all of my other social media platforms. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video. And remember, we at the Wheelock team would love to be your global real estate team of choice. Bye.